Good morning, students. I welcome all of you in this session of English language. Today, in this session, we are going to deal with one of the significant topics from English grammar. Let me clarify that this is not new topic for you. It is not the case that you haven't studied or listened to this topic, but there is always confusion or doubt about this topic. Secondly, whatever we will be studying in this session will definitely help you to understand the concepts like infinitive form of verb, gerund, and participle in English language. Students, today we are going to study about verb which plays a vital role in the sentence of English language. There are two main types of verbs. Students, what are these two major types of verbs? The first type of verb is finite verb and the second type of verb is non-finite verb. Students, today we are going to discuss these two major types of verbs, that is finite verb and non-finite verb, with the help of various examples. Initially, we will have discussion on the first type, that is finite verb. So our question is, what is finite verb? Students, if we look at this question carefully, in this question the word finite is very significant, so we need to understand the meaning of this word finite. In English language, the synonymous word for the finite is limited. The second meaning of this word finite we can have controlled. These synonymous words make one thing clear, that finite verbs are controlled or limited by some other elements or factors in sentence. These elements or factors change the forms of finite verbs. Let us see how these elements or factors change the forms of finite verbs and which are these elements. Students, to understand all these things, we need to see the definition of finite verb in English language. Let us see the definition of finite verb. I read the definition of the finite verb. Students, you carefully read and listen to the definition of finite verb. Finite verbs change their forms when there is a change in the number or person of the subject. Finite verbs also have different forms in different tenses. Students, from this definition of finite verb, it becomes clear that following things, three elements change the forms of finite verb. Which are these three elements? First, number of the subject, person of the subject, tense of the sentence. Let us try to understand what do these three elements mean. First, number. When we make a choice between singular and plural, we are applying the concept of number in grammar. Number tells us whether the subject of a sentence is singular or plural. The reason is that singularity or the plurality of the subject also change the forms of the finite verb. It will be explained with the help of examples. The second element that changes the forms of finite verb is person in the subject of the sentence. Students, you all know that there are three types of persons in English language. First person, second person, and third person. If we change the person in the subject of sentence, the form of finite verb is bound to change. The third element is tense. The third element that also changes the form of finite verb is the tense of the sentence. Students, you must have understood what is meant by finite verb in English language. I will cite some examples so that you will understand the concept of finite verb in detail. Let us look at the following sentences. First, he works hard daily. Second, they work hard daily. Students, in the first sentence, he works hard daily. The subject he is singular. Therefore, the finite verb work is followed by the suffix es. But in the second sentence, the subject, that is the pronoun they, is plural. Therefore, we have used the base form of the verb work without the suffix es. In this way, when the number of the subject changes, in other words, whether the subject is singular or plural, forms of finite verb also change. Now, let us see how person of the subject and the tense of the sentence also change the forms of the finite verb. I have provided some sentences as examples to explain this point. You look and read the following sentences carefully. First sentence, I work hard daily. Second sentence, he works hard daily. Third sentence, they worked hard daily. In the first sentence, the subject of the sentence is first person pronoun. Moreover, the sentence is in simple present tense. Therefore, we have used the base form of the verb work without any suffix. Now, let us observe the second sentence. I read the second sentence. He works hard daily. Students, if you compare both the sentences, first and second, you will notice that in both the sentences, the subject is singular. Both the sentences are in the same tense, that is simple present tense. They differ only in type of person used in the subject. In the first sentence, we have first person pronoun as a subject. Therefore, finite verb is without suffix, whereas in the second sentence, we have third person pronoun as a subject. Therefore, finite verb is with suffix es. Both the sentences make it clear that finite verbs change if there is a change in person of the subject. Now let us look at the third sentence. I read the third sentence. They worked hard daily. If we compare first two sentences with third one, first and second sentences are in simple present tense, whereas the third sentence is in simple past tense. Therefore, the form of finite verb has been changed, adding ed suffix. It shows tense of the sentence also has an impact on the form of the finite verb. Students, in this way, number, person and tense change the forms of the finite verb. Students, now we will move to the second major type of verb, that is non-finite verb. Let us discuss what is non-finite verb. The definition of the non-finite verb is as follows. I read the definition. You carefully read and listen to this definition. Non-finite verbs do not change their form when the number or person or tense changes. It means that regardless of the change in these three elements, non-finite verb remains same or unchanged. It means that the elements like number, person and tense about which we discussed do not have any impact on the form of non-finite verb. Let us see some sentences to clarify this fact. You look at this sentence. We work hard to pass the test. In this sentence, you will notice two verbs. One is work and the second is to pass. Out of these two verbs, work is finite verb and to pass is a non-finite verb. Let me give you one more example so that you will understand why work is finite verb and to pass non-finite verb. Let us observe the following sentence. I read the sentence. He works hard to pass the test. Students, In the first sentence, the subject is first person pronoun in plural form. Therefore, it takes original form of the verb work. It is finite verb. But the second sentence begins with the third person pronoun, which is singular. Therefore, the finite verb is followed by suffix s in this sentence. Students, this change occurred due to change in number and person of the subject. This change in the form of finite verb is clearly noticeable here, but in both the sentences, there is no change in the form of the verb to pass. It remains same or unchanged. Therefore, to pass is finite verb. Let us see one more example where finite verb changes its form and non-finite verb remains same even though we change the tense of the sentence. I read the sentence, I worked hard to pass the test. If we compare this sentence with earlier two sentences, this sentence is in simple past tense, means there is change in the tense of the sentence. Therefore, the verb work is followed by the suffix ed, whereas there is no any change in the form of the verb to pass because it is a non-finite verb. Students, from these examples, 2 points come forward. First, finite verb changes their forms when there is a change in number, person and tense. Second, non-finite verb remains same even though there is a change in number, person and tense. Let me make one point clear here. To pass is one of the types of non-finite verb which is called infinitive form of the verb. The second type of non-finite verb is gerund, which functions as noun in the sentence. Let us look at the following examples. I read the sentences. First, we like swimming. Second, he likes swimming. Third, I liked swimming. In these three sentences, like is finite verb, whereas swimming is non-finite verb, because in these sentences the form of verb like changes due to number, person and tense of the sentence, but the verb swimming remains same regardless of change in number, person and tense of the sentence. In these sentences, swimming is gerund as it functions as noun, about which we will discuss in the next session. The third type of non-finite verb is participle, which functions as an adjective in the sentence. I will explain it with the help of examples. Here, 3 sentences are given. Read these sentences. You read and listen to these sentences carefully. First, we get in running bus. Second, he gets in running bus. Third, I got in running bus. In these 3 sentences, the verb get undergoes changes as there is a change in number, person and tense either of the subject or sentence. First 2 sentences are in simple present tense, whereas third sentence is in simple past tense. Therefore, get is finite verb. But in these 3 sentences, the verb running remains same or unchanged even though there is a change in number, person and tense of the sentence. Therefore, running is non-finite verb. It is functioning as an adjective as it tells us additional information about the noun bus. Students, I hope you might have understood both the types of verbs, finite verb and non-finite verb. I conclude this session here. I stop here. Thank you.